AR is just arriving in the field of curators. We're like, oh, do you really want to wear a helmet? I believe more in glasses. Oh my God, I'm going on Discord, generate images. I fell in love with AI because of the magical aspect of it. The copyright question has always been in my field of view. Do we even own anything on this planet?
Hi everyone, welcome to this new episode of XR Café, a series of interviews with XR leaders. Today I'm very happy to welcome Anne, a digital artist. For the past 20 years she's been working on the new emerging technologies. Since 2019 she's been working with social AR technologies and VR. She has over 300 million views on her filters on TikTok, Instagram and Snapchat, and also on GIPHY. She got over 3 billion impressions. It's pretty crazy. And since 2022, she's been leveraging the different latest generative AI technologies, and she's been featured at different prestigious global events such as Miami Art Basel. Thank you for joining, Anne. Cheers.
Thank you for having me. Cheers.
All right, let's kick things off. So first of all, I know you have a long background of using different technologies for creating art, but we'll focus today on your journey with XR and AI, basically since 2019. First of all, in 2019, what brought you to XR and AR maybe?
I think like a lot of people, the pandemic, I was kind of like in a phase, like in a personal life, like a complete chaos and mess. And I didn't have a lot of inspiration. I felt like I was at the bottom of my GIF practice somehow, or like animation. I was kind of like going in circles. And so I figured that it was possible to make filters on Snapchat. That was the first software that I opened. And at first I was like, oh no, it's too complicated, it's too technical, I will never be able to do it. And then I dived into it, and in like a few months, I was able to make filters on Snapchat and Instagram.
Okay. And I believe you have used extensively, all the important social AR platforms, like you mentioned. And before we dive in the recent evolution of those platforms, could you share how you work with those, and which one allowed you to be the most creative over the next couple of years?
All of them made me creative for different aspects, and it also depends on the updates they made. I feel like all of them allowed me to be creative in different ways. That would be the short answer. And now that I'm only using Lens Studio, and they implemented AI Suite, this allows me to bridge with my AI practice, and I believe we will talk about that longer. But it depends on the releases, and it depends also on the public, because the audience is not the same depending on the platform.
And what about TikTok? I thought they also add some generative AI features.
Yeah, I forgot about that. But yeah, they did as well. And it's cool. It's I think it's good updates.
Is it less advanced than Snap?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. Well, and as you know, Meta closed their IG filters creation tool, Spark AR, about a year ago. So rest in peace.
It was just a year ago?
Yeah, I looked. It's been a year. I was checking this morning.
It feels like
it's closed in
ages.
January 2025, and we're in December.
Wow. Okay.
But I think they maybe announced maybe a little bit before. So,
yeah, they did.
Yeah, that was just the day they really closed it.
So this also happened in 2025.
Yeah, a lot happened in 2025. And TikTok also seems to have reduced their push on new filters as well. Can you share your thoughts on the evolution of this, of this social AR industry?
What I notice is that the only platform that is stable on that is Snapchat.
Okay. More reliable.
More reliable, for sure. But also because it's a platform that is using a lot of filters. Like people, it's like Snapchat created the filter.
Yeah, it's where it started.
So, I mean, it makes sense that it's like the OG of filters. I think when Meta announced that they shut down the AR, the Meta Spark, I think it was a big shock for the community. Um, I, I, I think it's a mistake because it's lowered. I mean, it made disappear a field of creativity. One of the many tools that they have at their disposal to make their audience creative. I understand the focus on AI, but I think all of these technologies can cohabit and can be implemented to each other. So I think it's too bad.
But it's also because for Snap also they had such big plan that they want to use the same tool for glasses apps creation, let's say.
And of course, and they're right.
Yeah,
I think it's smart to do that, and on TikTok is also good with filters. I mean, people use a lot filters, but not for the same things. Okay. So it's always like each platform has their specific audience, and I like to see the social media like different personalities. You know, like the LinkedIn is more like he's the workaholic. He's like, yeah, I'm just like talking about work and work and work. Snapchat is more like family, friends, like more spontaneous. Instagram is more like your life is very coded, very like in little squares, little frames. TikTok is more spontaneous. And yeah, it's like different personalities.
Okay, super interesting. And actually, we didn't mention, but you also did some work in VR as well. I've tried. I've tried one of your work. I was gonna say, I experienced one of your art pieces in a gallery. When you had an exhibition there. Yeah. Can you share what kind of work you did with VR?
I mostly did from like creative process to the showcase, all in VR. So I was using Gravity Sketch to build 3D worlds. But it was also a mixture with AI because I was generating the color palette in AI, and then I created an environment in Gravity Sketch using these AI palettes, and then I used Spatial.
Spatial.io, right? Is it?
Yes, okay. Yes. Very easy, very, very intuitive to use. I like when the tools are intuitive and easy because I don't have the patience. I don't have time. I need this to be like instant. So yeah, that was my experience in VR.
And before we dive into your I was going to say your transition into AI, because you've done a lot of AI in the past couple of years. Are you still leveraging this AI and VR tech nowadays? And if not, why?
Actually, I have an exhibition in using AR filters next year.
Okay.
So it's still up in the air, but also because, and we will talk about that later, I think, because the digital art scene is a little bit late on the technologies. So AR is just arriving in the field of curators who are like, AR is maybe a thing, or, but it's like...
I thought it was for a while already. Okay, wow.
No,
okay.
I mean, it depends, like for like institutions like Le Louvre, when they do like big AR things, it's more like activations. It's not focused on artists and individuals.
It's more like for them, it's also a great marketing communication opportunity. Yeah.
This has been around for a while, but the AR as an art form is not there yet. It's slowly becoming, but as AR tools have decreased, I mean, the artists I feel have lost the interest. I lost the interest a little bit.
You were saying AR for museum curators. What about VR?
I think it's quite the same.
It's quite the same? Okay.
It's quite the same. And also it's a matter of, for this is more like a matter of hardware.
Okay.
And it's my personal thinking about it. But, when you go to a museum, do you really want to wear a VR set? Which is also the question with VR sets. Like, do you really want to wear a helmet that is like giving you headaches and leaving marks on your forehead and kind of like shutting you down from the world? I mean, I've played many games. I've played hours of Beat Saber. I know, I loved it. I enjoy the experience of VR. But as like something that is in your daily life, I don't know how this can. I believe more in glasses.
Okay. Okay, sounds great. And since 2022, you've been diving into generative AI art. It's been, since 2022, I use this year because this is where I think a lot of tools started to come out alongside the most popular version back then of ChatGPT. I think it was 3.5 or 3 or 3.5. How did you get started? Where did you all start this?
It started in 2022. I was on vacation, I had time, and I wanted to, just out of curiosity, wanted to try Midjourney. And again, it felt like super nerdy, and I felt like, oh my God, I'm going on Discord and to generate images. And I think I fell in love with AI because of the magical aspect of it. I was amazed, and I'm still like, we are like 3 years after, amazed on how a prompt can create an image and a video, and how easy it has made the workflow and how convenient, and how the tools are evolving to make it easier and easier to create videos and animation that would take like sometimes years to just make. I think I fell in love instantly because...
And Midjourney was the starting point.
It was a starting... Midjourney and Wombo. The app on the phone was... it was...
What is this one doing?
It's the same. It has like a different styles, and it's pretty much
What's the name again? Wombo?
Wombo.
Okay.
WOMBO.
I don't know. Okay, Wombo. Great. And regarding the copyright aspect, that some AI platform might be using artworks without always respecting the artist's rights. Was it a blocker for you, or how? What's your thinking about that?
I have a lot of things to say about that. First off, I come from collage art. I'm a collage artist, so the copyright question has always been in my field of view. Because when you select a part of an image and then you recompose an image with it, there is already a copyright aspect, and legally it's authorized to do that as long as you transform the image. So in like the collage world, it's possible, but it has to be transformed. You cannot like use an image and just say it's me.
Okay.
This would be a violation of copyright, obviously. So this applied to AI. I'm not shocked about the copyright aspects. That's the first layer of my answer, but I have many layers. The second layer is AI. Artists are inspired by everything: a film, a comic book, an artist, an exhibition, a situation in daily life. This is where they take out their inspiration, and AI is kind of like doing this. It's taking inspiration from everywhere, but it's just like this mega brain gathering all of the inspirations that you could eventually or not. And that's also the serendipity aspect of it. Like, you have an idea and then you go to something completely different, and then you either accept something completely different or you keep going in your direction. So that's the second layer. And then there is a third layer of, do we even own anything on this planet? And sometimes it kind of like, when it's taken out of context, it comes like a little bit of a shock when I say that we should let go of property, and we should let go of the idea of ownership. Of course, taking out of context is can be like, oh, what is he saying? Like, and how do we make money? But eventually that would be great to get out of this capitalist system, because it's destroying the planet and destroying the social interactions and everything. But that's the long term.
Okay. Do you think it will happen?
I don't know. I might be a little psychic, but I
think it's fair.
I cannot predict, but I wish that humankind gets out of this dead end.
And actually, I really liked what you said about the. I feel like this digital sampling. Because when I was hearing your first, the first layer, this is like kind of Daft Punk is all about sampling,
Definitely.
And Daft Punk is, I think in the beginning of sampling for music, I think there was a lot of question about, is it actual music creation? Is it kind of stealing people's heart? And so now I think nowadays sampling is completely accepted in the art space, to my understanding.
Definitely.
So it's very interesting because this feels like a digital sampling in some ways.
It is definitely the culture of sample, and sometimes people get shocked at some stuff because they don't have the education, or sometimes they accept stuff and they don't accept stuff, and there is no explanation. Like Dua Lipa is using samples, like she's making music that is like pop music, but she's not inventing anything. She's compiling stuff that already exists, and she's adding a value on top of it, which is her voice and her personality and her branding and everything. I'm not saying that she's not an artist. I'm just saying that she's doing all that people are criticizing, like, this is not, and nothing is original. Nothing is original. Like, everything is something that we take out from the reality, and it's always an interpretation. So we don't own anything at the beginning. We already, like, making art is already stealing something. You know what I mean? So
you're already inspired by this millions of previous artists in the.
And this is why I think we should get out of this concept of property, because this is so arbitrary. Like, I take something and this is my spoon. If I decide, I put it in my
this is your spoon.
I put it in my pocket.
They will never know.
This is thief, but I can decide this is my spoon.
No, super interesting. Thank you so much for diving into this. It's an entire topic, and I can tell you've thought a lot about it. Obviously, It's super interesting. And I mean, regarding your work with generative AI, I was wondering, there's a lot of tools now, image creation, video creation, actually even 3D assets creation.
Yeah.
For the past 3 years, it feels like every month there are significant new breakthrough. Where as we're speaking today in December 2025, actually recently there was Nano Banana that was really impressive for image creation. It was just released a couple of weeks ago, and then boom, OpenAI released a new image model like 2 days ago. So this is going super fast. Nowadays, what are your go-to tools for creation?
Oh, I have my favorites. I love Crea because I train my own models.
Okay. I don't know Crea. Is it C-R-E-A?
It's K-R-E-A.
Okay.
So usually what I do is, my workflow is that I train my models based on my archives of collage and work. And also now that I have like a big archives on AI as well, I'm also training on my AI archives. So it's like not perfect images from like the beginning of AI, because I like when there is asperities, when it's not perfect.
Like near perfection.
So I mix that in all of this in Crea. And then for animation, Dreamina is one of my favorite, because you can do multi-frame animation. You just like drop 10 frames and it just like makes the interpolations between the frames, which is amazing. They just released the audio and video synchronization generation. FreePic is great because they have like all of the APIs, but they also have a great prompt enhancer. that I really like. What else? Runway is still good for the like generating other images, like image consistency and stuff like that. But yeah, that's, I would say, if I had to choose, my go-to, Crea and Dreamina and FreePic.
Awesome, and let's make some predictions. What do you think will be possible to create with generative AI in 5 years, in 2030, that is not possible today?
Damn. Holograms. I don't know.
Because I feel like there's already so much we can do now, so it's hard to think what else can be added to it.
I think it's not what we will be able to generate. I think it's more like how will we, like with what we will be able to watch this, and like to what it will be applied in our daily life and our way of consuming images and our way of consuming digital in the physical world. I think it will be more like specific cases of like enhancing or improving your daily life. Google Translate just released the instant translation thing in the Google Translate. So now when you are in Japan and you don't speak Japanese, you can just like have a pocket translator in your pocket, and it just blows my mind.
I didn't know they released this one.
Yes, yes.
So it's like, it feels like that's the voice feature of ChatGPT, right? Similar.
Yeah.
Very nice.
So I think it will be more like, more field of applications.
Okay, and I mean, another question is regarding monetizing digital artwork. That we often think it's hard to monetize because everything online is so accessible, kind of free to access. It's not like let's say analog style of having a painting at home. Can you share kind of what are the way people monetize digital art? Is it mostly based on views? Is it people buying digital arts? We had the trends with NFTs a couple of years ago. How does it work?
The way that you framed the question says so much, because digital artists, but also anyone, like we build the internet by sharing our pictures, and internet has this open source vibe and soul. Everything is free on the internet when it comes to consuming images at the beginning. But then when something is free, you become the product. That's the classic. So in the imaginary, digital art doesn't have like monetization system. It's been a subject I've been struggling and thinking about since the beginning of making digital art, because digital art doesn't have a market, or didn't have a market until NFT came out, and some people were like, oh cool, here is an opportunity to monetize digital art, but it wasn't made for digital art. So the NFT bubble kind of like, it's still there. Like some people, it's still going on. Like some people are buying art through crypto. Like it's still there, but it didn't solve the problem of where is the digital art market regarding institutions, regarding like a collector. Like it's easy to buy a painting, but when you imagine you want to buy like one of my GIPHs, like how do you do that? Are you obligated to buy it by crypto? Maybe you don't want to. Maybe you're all collector and you don't care about crypto. Like how do you solve this issue? And it's still up in the air. And I think it sucks. And I think the art institutions, the art world should really think about it and not like jump into the NFT train and be like, oh, this is a solution. This is not a solution. This was not thought for digital art. So that's the first part of the question. And then when it comes to monetize digital art, mostly it's institutions, paying. It's just like a mission. Like they have a budget for an exhibition and they just like provide money for making art for the exhibition, but they don't acquire the piece. But it's not automatic in the classic art as well. But usually it's how this works.
Okay, and with online, because some people on YouTube, let's say if someone was creating a kind of visual art, maybe they could get paid by the amount of impressions. Does this exist for other styles of digital art? Or is it mainly a video thing?
Sadly, no. Okay. I wish that my 3.2 billion views on
converted
GIPHY
3 billion euros.
No, not even. Like I wouldn't be that greedy. Like just like maybe like 1 cent per view would be per impression would be great. I would be a billionaire. Like I have nothing against that.
Okay.
But no, and I think it's great that it exists on platforms like now all of the platforms are kind of like doing it. I don't know if Meta is maybe the exception. I'm not sure Meta has a monetization thing.
On which
on Reels and stuff like that.
I'm not sure actually. It's a good question. No, I haven't heard about it. Maybe there is.
Okay.
No, it's super interesting. And to wrap up, my last question was, you also give a lot of workshops globally. Yeah, you just came back from couple travels. What would be your, best advice for digital artists who are starting their career today, in terms of, what should they focus on?
Curiosity, experimenting, trying stuff. Always trying, experimenting, and jumping into the train of new tools. I think it's like a great time for being creative because it's a big toy supermarket. Like there are so many toys to play with. Like have fun, be curious, enjoy yourself, and because when you have fun making something, it translates. So have fun and be curious.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Anne.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks everyone also for joining this new episode. If you enjoy, drop a comment below, please, with your thoughts. Thank you again, Anne. And to the next episode. Bye-bye.
Bye.